From Radio DePaul, Chicago's college connection.
My father spent 3 years restoring this car. It is his love. It is his passion.
I'm Michael Cera, and human skin is my passion.
I learned to feel things I'd never felt before. Love, jealousy, passion for disemboweling.
Look at all the passion on that wall.
Well, jazz flute has always been a small passion of mine.
It's a bathroom. It's not just a bathroom, David. It's a passion project.
My passion project. Destroying someone else's passion project.
This is Passion Project with your host, Peyton Basden.
Hey, y'all. What's up, y'all? I'm trying out y'all for today. Guys, you're not going to believe this. Today's going to be an extra special, extra crazy episode because I came into the studio today and we had not one guest. We actually have two today. For whatever reason, joining us here, audio listeners, I have in my hands the Bob's Burgers music album. It was just left in the studio, and I believe it has 3 full discs of Bob's Burgers music.
I think it's a good omen.
I think this is a great movement. Omen. There's 107 tracks on this.
I didn't even know they had that much music in the show.
Apparently.
I mean, there's a musical movie.
There is,
but
yeah.
I think this might just be the show.
They average about one song every episode.
That makes sense. They always have an outro.
Yeah, they always have the outro at least, and then they'll do like a full number. It features such hits like number 58, the fart song. Number 55, Jingle in the Jungle. And 85 is just 99 Red Balloons.
Oh.
Two Butted Goat, right before.
That one.
Oh, that's number 99, and number 100 is Butt Phone.
Butt Phone.
So this is awesome.
Classics.
But this is only part of the reason why today's episode is going to be so magic. We'll keep Bob's Burgers music album right there. That's where I found it. The other reason today's episode is going to be amazing is we have a very special guest, as is the tradition on this show. And today's special guest, what can I say about her that hasn't already been said? Wonderful.
Good.
Fantastic.
Like it.
Pretty darn cool.
I would agree.
And also truly, truly one of the biggest fans of the show in history. So it is an honor.
I watch at least, I get like 10 minutes into most of them. So I'll say that. But I always click on it and I always like on YouTube. So everyone go subscribe.
Shout out. Today we have Anna.
Yeah, Anna Lucas. I'm here in the studio.
That is so true. Hey, Anna, what's up?
What's up?
It's great to have you here.
It's great to be here.
I agree completely. So to help the audience understand what it is like to be Anna Lucas, I'm sure a wild and crazy life indeed. We have a segment called the Passion Probe.
Oh yes.
Yes. So we're gonna dive right in.
Let's do it.
Head first. But it's deep enough so that's a safe thing to do.
Yes.
And our first question is more in the shallow end, so maybe don't dive. But are you a prefer of cats or dogs?
Oh yeah, no, this is pretty softball. Definitely dogs. I would say love dogs. I grew up having dogs, so it's kind of what I'm comfortable with. I always like to preface and be like, no hate against cats. It's just like I've never had the chance to really bond with a cat, so I just don't. That's just not my answer. I know how to act around a dog. Dogs know how to act around me. The cats, I don't know. But one day maybe I'll love a cat.
Mm-hmm. That's good clarification because there are real cat haters.
Yeah. Some people feel very strongly one or the other, but no.
That's good. Okay, I'm glad we're not spreading.
Good answer.
Spreading anti-cat
no
rhetoric today. Do you have a favorite holiday?
Oh, I think I'd probably have to go Halloween just because it's so
good
fun.
Answer. It is,
and it's like you gotta be with your friends. Like you gotta find a common interest between people. Like, oh, we should dress up as this thing, or like, you can kind of seek out like who's into this TV show, who's into this, and then you can share that moment together and have that memory.
Mm-hmm. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Any Halloween costumes that you're like, this is an all-time hit?
Of mine?
Yeah. Or if somebody else really was wow.
Last year I was Steven Universe, but I stood alone as Steven Universe. So like I kind of needed my gems. So like that's when that would have been a good moment to maybe like outsource and be like, who wants to be the crystal gems with me? I feel like, but I did it. So
yeah, you did. Way to like a good group costume is always fantastic, but like
Exactly.
don't let lack
sometimes
of-
yeah, sometimes you just have to be like, I love it enough that
yeah,
I will
and
stand
that's
alone.
all you need. You're
Mhm.
doing it for you. This kind of relates to today's topic a little bit because we will get
Okay.
into mathematics,
Hard hitting.
hard hitting stuff here. Do you have a favorite number?
Oh yes, I do. I would say 3 and 17, and I'll tell you why.
Yes.
Well, I was born in 2003
Mhm.
and on the 17th, so I think naturally
Oh,
that
shout out.
usually
Yeah.
becomes people's favorite number because it's like your number.
Mm-hmm.
But 17 is also great just on its own. 7's kind of already a lucky number.
Mm-hmm.
You know, both prime numbers,
Both
kind of
prime.
unique. But yeah, 3 is the magic number,
Of course.
so I feel like that one's really strong.
Yeah, triangle is the strongest shape in
Yes.
nature. This is a true fact.
Yep.
Triangles, am I right? We'll we'll get into
Oh,
it.
don't you worry.
We'll get into it. Do you have a favorite breakfast food?
Oh, breakfast food. Typically, if I'm making myself breakfast, I do avocado toast with eggs, but that's just my skill set.
Ooh.
So like that's kind of what I have to do. If I'm like out at breakfast, like a banana pancake would
Mhm.
be my option if I'm going for something sweet. Otherwise, omelet with
Mm.
mushrooms, spinach, Swiss cheese, and bacon, and hash browns. Like the good hash browns, not American potatoes. I don't want any of that.
What is your definition of good hash browns? Because this has been a point of contention on the
Okay.
show for a while of like, what is your preferred hash brown? Because people do answer hash browns a lot.
I do not like the wedge potatoes. I don't. That's not cool.
Like big, like
no, that it should be the like shredded potatoes,
Mhm.
nice and crispy, like the like haystack.
yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're
Yes.
saying, and I'm inclined to agree.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Yeah.
It'd be okay if you didn't.
Thank you. I'm glad this is a really safe space. Now I feel more trusting.
Okay. Good.
And more honest. And I'm going to ask you one more question
Okay.
that may spark some greater conversation. Do you are a person of mathematics?
Yes.
You,
Yes.
you study
Woman
them.
of science.
Yes, women in STEM. Happy
Yes.
International Women's Day.
Is
everyone.
it today?
It is today.
Oh, wow,
As of,
didn't even
as
know.
of filming,
Thank
it
you.
is.
My first Happy Women's Day
Yeah.
from Peyton on air.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Of course. So,
Mhm.
as a woman in STEM,
Yes.
do you have a favorite like type of mathematics? I'm thinking like your
Mhm.
classics, like your algebra, geometry.
Right,
If you want to get into calculus,
I would probably say, well, not to spoil anything, but relating to today's topic, I've been into probability,
Mhm.
and that's been super interesting to me. But I would say if we're going classic, I would say calculus.
okay, calculus is good.
Multivariable.
Mm,
We're getting
oh,
crazy.
Oh, okay.
We're getting 3-dimensional.
I don't think I made it to multivariable.
If
I was
you,
just
if
doing
you
regular
didn't play with
calculus.
the Z, if you're purely X and Y, then you probably stayed in the
Yeah,
2D.
like I derived.
Yeah, good stuff.
I did some
Integrals.
yeah, integrated. Good, great stuff. Great stuff for all the math lovers out there.
Yep.
Calculus was really fun for me because like it kind of takes everything you've learned so far in math and then shows you why it's relevant and shows you the
Exactly.
math behind the math, which was really interesting.
Yes. Sometimes you don't get the context at all, and you're just like, why am I doing all this?
Yeah.
But
And then
yeah,
when
it
you get
comes
the
together.
well, like, and this totally relates to today's topic because that's why I am intrigued by math so much
Mhm.
because once you understand how and why you're doing math, because that's always the biggest complaints. Like people are like, when am I going to use this?
Right.
But like when you understand how math relates to your life, it is kind of a superpower because it is just kind of it's a way to get the answer
Right.
for whatever you
Yes,
want.
exactly. And it's literally in everything.
It is in everything. And I think there's no greater example of that than what you've come in to talk about today.
Yes.
The wonderful concept.
Mm-hmm.
I believe it started out as an economic theory
Yeah.
and then
yeah.
became well because it's just relevant always.
Yeah.
What are you here to talk about today?
I'm here to talk about game theory.
Shout out.
So, yeah, if you've never heard about it, it's, mathematical theory.
Yes, we are not talking about the hit YouTube show.
No.
Sorry
I
to
don't
any.
know Matt Pat. I don't know anything about
Yeah.
that. It's just a theory.
It's a different. Yeah, that's a different thing. If you want to know about him, he has an entire YouTube catalog. You can watch his videos.
Yeah, check it out. And then check out Passion
Project
Yes.
on YouTube too. We also have a catalog of videos. We're very similar in that way. But today we're talking game theory,
Mhm.
the theory.
Yes, the theory behind games.
Mm-hmm.
Great, very, very interesting. Has a lot to do with like social situations as well, and I feel like it's very something you can relate to in everyday life
Mm-hmm.
because I mean, not to say like we're all playing the game, but we kind of are.
Right.
And you know, you gotta play it a little bit. You gotta play it a little bit.
If you're playing, why not try and win?
Exactly. But you know, when we're thinking math, like you're trying to make gains, and sometimes other people gotta lose because of that. And you know, that's
unfortunate.
That's our animal instinct. Someone might say
the desire to consume.
You know,
yeah,
in economics,
circle of life.
Yeah,
of
business,
course.
big business.
I love business.
I'm okay on it. Well, yeah, that's kind of my point here is like it's got, you know, a lot of applications, but I'm most interested in it in like terms of like board games and card games and like, you know, competition, reality TV, one might say.
Yes.
You know, the fun stuff.
The fun stuff.
Not
cool
politics.
Stuff.
We're not getting crazy.
We're not getting crazy.
No.
So for our folks at home, what is your like Webster's Dictionary definition of game theory? How would you explain it to them?
I would explain it as, you know, a framework to make the most optimal decision, like, you know, within a game, to like improve your chance of winning. Mm-hmm. So it's like you're figuring out strategies, you're trying to counter your opponent, you're, you know, making predictions, all of that.
Right.
Really.
Right. It's the ability.
Yes.
It's the
and then, you know, the math comes in if it's like a game of chance.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, you're using like dice, you're drawing from a deck, because there's only so many
possibilities,
combinations with those randomizing devices, one might say. Pulling it out. So then that's when we get into the probability of it, and that's when it's really interesting, because you can figure, like you said, you can find the answer. Like there's an answer
to things that you don't think would have an
answer. You're like, it's
answer.
random, it's luck, like I'm, you know, but no, guys, we got to think a little harder.
Because this was an awesome moment for me. I was over at your abode, and I walked in, and you were playing crazy amounts of blackjack.
Yes.
And I'm like, for a moment, I'm like, okay, Anna is awesome, and is gambling so hard right now. That's really cool.
Gambling with myself.
Yeah, gambling alone in your room. The coolest thing you can do.
Yes.
But I was like, wait, are you just gambling for fun? But you were playing the game.
I was studying, in fact, because this quarter I'm in a poker class.
Mm-hmm.
And it is taught by a math professor. So it's like, whoa, that sounds epic. But then a lot of people get there and they're like, why are we learning about math and probability and like, get me out of here.
Like, I just want to win.
Yeah, exactly. They're like, I just want to be cool and play poker, which was half of my thing. But then I was really excited because we got into the math of it. And I was like, I had no idea. This is so cool. So yeah, we focused on blackjack for most of the term, actually, which is pretty cool because it's kind of like the only beatable game at the casino.
Mm-hmm.
So, but that's only if you memorize basic strategy. And because blackjack's pretty simple, it's only like, whatever. Listeners at home, just I'm assuming you know kind of what blackjack is.
Yeah. Closest to 21, you start with 2 cards.
The dealer's got a card up,
yeah.
You only get 2 cards, and you're working with the sum of those 2 cards. And you get to choose whether to hit or stand.
Mm-hmm.
Get another card to try to get close to 21, or you just like go, I'm gonna
see what happens.
I'm gonna stand and see
mm-hmm.
whatever the dealer pulls up, and they might get closer to 21. Anyway,
we'll see.
Yes.
We'll see.
But there's only so many scenarios that computers can run all the situations and creates the basic strategy of the most probable choice for you to win. So if you use that and you also count cards, then you can actually make money off the casino. But you have to be like, you got to be on it.
You got to be thinking.
Because it's a lot of mental math and remembering stuff, and it's, you know, it honestly, it doesn't sound easy, and it's not. So
have you attempted? Are you like,
yeah, in class we would play, and
mm-hmm.
we'd try to keep the count, and you kind of, it's like the high low, and you're trying to count how many high cards are left, because
mm-hmm.
if you have 11, the 10s are good. The face cards are all 10s.
Yeah.
And so you're trying to count basically how many 10s are left in the deck, because those are the ones that can help you.
Yeah.
And so based on the count and based on how many decks are left in the shoe, because, you know, that's crazy. But then you get a number that can tell you how much you should bet optimally to, you know,
And
make
that's
your
how you
money,
win.
make your money.
That's how you win.
But yeah, it's pretty cool stuff. A lot I didn't know. There was an MIT team that would like go undercover in the casinos and like they would be like doing secret signals to each other. It sounded really cool. I was like, wow, I wish that were me. But I mean, the closest I'll probably get is like maybe making $50. Hopefully, that could be cool too.
That's the power of game theory.
Exactly.
That can make you a cool 50.
Yeah, exactly.
I think this example is really interesting because like blackjack is a simple enough game where you can solve it, but like given enough computing power that maybe the brain doesn't have, but like you like given an infinitely large scale, I feel like we could solve anything if we had enough the ability to calculate all the possibilities.
Our short-term memory is only so big, so you
Right.
like you really can't. And yeah. But then that gets me into the next thing. We started learning poker.
Yeah.
But poker is different because there's far too many scenarios on the board for even for your laptop to like compute. It has to be like some big crazy thing. So it doesn't really work the same where you can just memorize the strategy. And plus you're playing against the other players, not just the dealer. So the blackjack's isolated in that way where it makes it easier to just, you're not really competing. But in poker, instead of basic strategy, they have game theory optimal. So that's kind of the same thing where you're trying to have the best strategy that makes it hard for your opponents to exploit you, basically. And you're trying to exploit them and all their weaknesses. So that's where it comes in. That's where the social part comes in, because it's not just about the probabilities and yada yada. Like you can't just memorize something. You gotta know when you need to bluff. You gotta be able to deceive people. You know, it's pretty interesting. I think it's you gotta be very, very skilled.
Is game theory optimal just a school of thought within?
I don't know. It's just like the subsection. I think that's for poker.
Oh, it's like okay.
That's
this
like
is
GTO.
GTO.
It's like
Shout out GTO.
Yes, shout out GTO. So that's for poker. But
it's got a good acronym.
Yeah, no, it's a lot. It's a lot.
Because I'm a fan of statistics, which
Right.
like studying the statistics of poker are really interesting. Statistics of gambling, because this is also something you'll see in game theory. Like it makes a really big difference whether you're playing one game or like
exactly
1,000 games.
Right, exactly.
Because that changes your strategy.
Mm-hmm.
Because like if you're playing roulette, there's an equal chance of the ball going in any of these things.
Right.
And like they'll do the thing where they'll show you like the past numbers, and it's been like all black. So like, okay, this next one's got to be a red. But it's equally it doesn't. It doesn't.
Matter.
It's like equally.
It's like flipping a coin.
Mm-hmm. But over time, the more you flip
They're
a coin,
independent events.
Yes. Shout out buzzwords.
Yes.
We're gonna throw a lot of buzzwords
Yeah,
at you
yeah.
today.
You gotta get ready.
Vocab quiz at the end.
Mm-hmm.
But like the more you do it over time, the closer and closer it will get.
Right. That's what probability is. It's it's like the fraction of time that event will occur if the experiment is performed an unbounded amount of times. So infinite times.
Infinite.
So that's where you're right. Like if
Yeah.
you're only playing one round of something, your strategy has to be completely different.
Because I could play roulette an infinite amount of times. Oh boy, don't get me started.
Go broke.
Yeah, no, I'd win because
yes, of course.
I know game
Yeah,
theory
exactly.
on this game.
And that's kind of what my professor says. He's like, all these math nerds go in like thinking they know what's what, but I know I'd flop.
Yeah, it's like, guys, I guess the real point of gambling is to be fun.
Yeah,
not to make money,
right, right.
but also like that's the fun part.
If you're like crazy awesome,
If you're
then
crazy
you can
awesome,
maybe make
that's what it unlocks, and that's why I encourage all of you
yeah.
to study game theory and then start gambling.
Yes, I endorse gambling
Yeah.
100%
Heavily.
because you will eventually break even
Yep.
if you're really down. You just got to keep going.
Yep. Amen to that. But that also there's a big you've discussed it slightly so far. There's a big element to game theory, which is the players themselves in any given situation. Like especially if I am playing, like if we play rock paper scissors 100 times, I'm going to be thinking so much less about like, oh, okay, you only have 3 options. What are you going to pick? I'm going to be thinking more so, okay, I know Anna.
Right.
and this is what Anna's gonna do, maybe, and then you'll do something. I'll be like, okay, wait, so this is different. This is that. So it's like these two levels on it of like, here's the physical game we are playing, but also like understanding the player, which I think is really interesting.
Right, because rock, paper, scissors, the best strategy. Here it
Mhm.
comes. You should do each of them 1/3 of the time. But you're right. If you notice your opponent favors scissors or something, then you should do rock every time,
Right.
because that's gonna get you there.
Mm-hmm.
So that it is pretty interesting. So that's where you gotta have your wits about you, because you need to be observant and be able to gather intel on who you're playing, because that will really affect what's going down.
Yeah, eyes open.
Yes.
You cannot play rock, paper, scissors with your eyes closed.
No, never.
Full disclosure, I also always pick scissors.
Okay, I'll note that if we're ever in a tournament.
Yeah, but now I'm telling you that, so you're going to use that.
See, and then that's when things get crazy, because you're like reverse
Reverse
psychology,
psychology.
or is it just reverse psychology? And
At
then
this point,
you
it's
get
just
caught in a loop.
psychology.
Yeah.
Like, we've gone so
Let's just
back.
call it what it is.
Yeah, that's game theory. That's game theory. But like, there's that interesting element, and you can use it almost anywhere.
Right.
At any time, specifically because I do think it is very relevant in social relationships,
Absolutely.
which is like wild to me that you can like sort of quantify this thing that's like so ethereal,
Right.
and like there's a best approach to like
Yeah.
making friends, how to win friends and influence people.
No, you're speaking my language. Because anytime I'm at a party,
Mm-hmm.
the way I tolerate it, one might say, I'm like, I'm playing the game. Like, who
You
can I
are.
befriend? Who can I make trust me? Who can like I'm scanning the room. Who needs a buddy? Like, how
Yeah.
can I gain them
Mm.
as my one of mine? And then I'll lead us into another thing I wanted to bring up: the competition reality television. of
Yes.
it all.
Yes.
Big Brother,
Shout out.
Survivor.
Shout out.
Recently, newer one on the come up, The Traitors,
Traitors,
which usually
yes.
has a lot of people from the other two shows, but obsessed with Big Brother. Probably my favorite show of all time, I would say. Dare I say, one of the best reality TV shows of all time. Maybe not. I can't defend it too much. Editing's really goofy. It's really stupid. They don't really focus on the social strategy as I would like. But what makes it awesome is that it's streamed 24/7 live. You can watch live feeds of these people the whole summer. They're there like 3 months. It's weird. It's like the Truman Show is kind of the concept of it, because Big Brother is always watching.
Yes.
We get it.
Oh,
We get it. Yes.
1984.
So it's a TV show that can't really blame it on the edit. Like,
Right.
they're giving it a certain edit because that's what makes good TV. The viewers who are crazy freaks and watch it 24/7 know what's really going on and who's really behind a lot of the moves. So people don't go uncredited if they're the winners all along. But if they're not on the TV show, like, no one would know.
Right.
The casual audience would not.
Yeah, they
know.
don't get
They
it.
don't get
this
it.
goes
no.
deeper.
Yes, absolutely.
This always goes deeper. So, let's say hypothetically, the Bob's Burgers music album
Yes.
has never seen Big Brother. How would you describe
Oh,
like
yeah,
the
the format.
general
Okay.
weekly, like what's the gameplay loop of Big Brother?
I'll give it to you. So first episode premiere. Usually 16 house guests enter the house.
Mhm.
This is a house that has probably over 100 cameras
Mhm.
on all the time. And these 16 players will compete in competitions, usually similar to like a carnival game, memory game, not very complicated. But sometimes, sometimes they're physical, whatever. They play in these competitions and to win power. And someone will become the head of household of that week. And that person will nominate 2 players to be on the block up for elimination. At the end of the week, the house will vote on who they want to go home. There's also a power of veto where someone can take themselves off the block, so they have a chance to save
Wow.
themselves.
Okay.
Whatever. But so basically, you're trying to get people to vote for you, or maybe not vote for you if you're up for elimination. So you need to get people to be on your side, vouch for you, but you're also at the same time, it's a numbers game. You're thinking about all these numbers because you need this many people, whatever, and then they vote for you at the end to win.
Okay.
But it really comes down to the social strategy, because you need to know how to read people and guess if they're trying to trick you. If you don't know you're being lied to,
then
There's
then
no
you're
good.
sunk.
You're gonna get got, basically.
How trusting and kind is the average Big Brother contestant?
Well, I feel like they usually have a mix of like people who are like, I'm loyal, like I'm gonna change the game and like be a good guy and like whatever, and those are the boring people that get manipulated and cut. And then they have the people who are like the strategists that are like, I'm here to play, I have to separate my feelings from it and betray people and kind of be a bad person. But they're all consenting to kind of participate in the devil's game,
in the
if you will.
evil,
Yes,
the evil of it all. I mean, how many seasons has there been?
Oh, Big Brother's been on. I think it's one of the first reality TV shows besides Survivor. They're both CBS, so it's kind of like the sister show, if you will, the brother show, Big Brother.
The Big Brother show.
Yeah. So it's been on since like early 2000s. So they're on their it'll be the 25th season this summer,
wow.
and it's always over the summer.
Okay.
So this last summer was my first live season, so I very much enjoyed that. Watching
you
these people
pull up
all
the
the
feed?
time. Yes.
What did they stream it on?
It's on Paramount Plus.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
But it's heavily censored, which makes sense.
I
Makes
guess.
sense, but also
I
like
guess.
give it to me, like I want to see it. But yeah, it's pretty freaky stuff.
So, let's say this summer,
Yes.
you're going into the Big Brother
Oh
house.
my god, a house guest.
Yes. How would you approach the game? No, having your understanding
Yes.
of the theory and being an avid fan of the show, what works, what doesn't, what are you bringing into this?
The number one thing you have to have is adaptability, because it's not going to be what you expect. You have to. The tagline of the show is "Expect the unexpected." So the rules shift sometimes, and you don't know who you're going to be in there with, and you can't truly predict people. Even if you think you got a read on them, like you don't know. So you have to be able to adapt in the moment, and that's really the number one. That's really the strategy you need, is to be able to connect with people genuinely. Also, you got to know when you got to turn on them. If they're of no use to you anymore, you can't get all sappy.
Wow.
But again, you can't really. You can't go in the casino thinking like I know the game theory. Yeah, I'm gonna kill it because I know all these probabilities and stuff, and you're. It's not gonna go well. You kind of got to make the genuine relationships, because then, if you have the trust there, without the trust, no one's gonna have your back. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're gonna
Trust
sell you
makes
out.
trust. Yeah.
Exactly. So you kind of have to form genuine connections while also teetering on, I'm not giving you too much. I know when to hold back and not show my cards.
Is there an incentive to lie on the show? Like
$1 million, honey.
Oh, is that what you get when you win?
Actually, it's $750,000 is the grand prize.
Oh, because
and then
taxes,
this person in second place gets
the $1.25.
$75,000.
Oh, okay.
So
That's cool.
it's your morals or money, basically.
Oh wow, the
Yeah.
classic debate.
Yeah.
Okay,
But
so
people all the time.
it's
the
idea of there can only be one winner.
Right.
So it's like
you're my
it should
buddy
be
and all,
me.
and let's try to mutually help each other, but at the end of the day, I'm here to win.
And then, how do they decide the one winner if everybody's gone? Like we get rid of everyone.
So then usually they do the last 7 people voted out. Sometimes it's the last 9 people voted out. They come back as the jury, and they vote. So you
and
can't
they
wrong
pick.
people hard enough that they're not going to vote for you at the end. So you're really teetering the line of, I might need to dispose of you, but I don't want to cross you. I don't want to lie to you so hard that you are mad, and they call that a bitter juror.
Ooh.
If they're like,
Ooh.
I'm not voting for you because you wronged me, even if you played the best game. They're like, well, I don't care because
I don't like you.
Yeah, you messed me up.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
This is real. This
It's
is
a lot of psychological like warfare. Yes, exactly.
also they're being watched 24/7.
Exactly.
This doesn't sound pleasant
No,
to be a part of.
No, not at all. And that's my thing. I'm like, wow, how cool! Like to go on like Big Brother and like win Big Brother, like that'd be epic. But it could never happen because I would implode at the thought of people having that much access to
Your
what
life.
should be private. Yes.
If you were on, I'd watch.
It would be super epic, but I would also, it would be embarrassing. A lot of failure would be had. A lot of growing would probably have to happen, and a lot of self-reflection, I'm sure, because it really exposes a lot about who you are, because a lot of bias can come up, because it's like, why don't you trust that person? Why do you get an off feeling about that person? Is it racial? Is it their gender? Let's just say, because a lot of the time men will click up, dominate, and that's just kind of it's like a micro,
like our society, yeah,
exactly. And
put them all in a house.
The early 2000 seasons, very depressing.
Oh no,
because so much misogyny, a lot of racism, bad things are happening in those houses. But that's why it's fascinating, because it's like wow,
this is us.
It's like a social experiment. That's what they say anyway.
Yeah,
another tagline.
Awesome.
I'm like
taglines.
Promoting Big Brother.
Yeah,
everyone go. But
this summer on CBS.
Yes, exactly. I'm telling you, it's pretty corny though. So, because they like make them do dumb stuff and whatever.
I've seen like clips and I can never tell what's happening.
No,
I'm like,
it's a lot.
Y'all are just here. Is Survivor structured? Because there's also a voting system on that show.
Yeah, yeah. So Survivor's usually I'm like, if I'm talking about Big Brother, I'm like, Survivor, it's like that, but in a house. Because they're on an island.
They put them inside.
Yeah, exactly. And which
so
makes
pleasant.
them crazier.
Yeah.
Because Survivor, they also vote each other out.
Mm.
And then at the end, they do the same thing. They have a jury, and they vote for a winner. So you're doing the same thing of balancing, like, how can I use you in my game while still keeping you as an ally once you're gone?
While also surviving.
Yes. Yes. Outwit, outlast, out something. That's their tagline.
Awesome.
Outwit, outlast.
No.
Perform. Outwit. No, I don't know. I don't got it.
We got Outwit and Outlast.
Brother's my thing, okay.
Yeah. Survivor is also there, but they're outside, so that makes it irrelevant.
Yes, exactly. No cameras all the time. So
yeah,
who cares?
What's the fun in that?
I can't watch them sleep?
Yeah.
I'm not into it.
That's not fun. Because they're always sleeping outside.
Yeah.
Much like the Bob's Burgers music album hasn't seen Survivor, so
you have not either.
Yeah.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
But I understand the appeal because it's like it's fun to watch because it is so game heavy. Like sure they're playing games, but like beyond that, it's fun to watch the game unfold and see the tactics that are used because it's in interpersonal relationships. Like we are always trying to play each other,
right?
Like in a beautiful way.
Sometimes you don't have bad intentions about it, but you're like, I'm trying to get you where I want you, and that's for whatever intention that may be.
It's that school of thought.
Yeah,
we're all inherently selfish. We're all.
I mean, I'm trying to. Maybe I'm trying to get you to like me. Maybe I'm trying to get on your radio show. Maybe like, you know what I'm saying? Like we all have goals.
Right.
It doesn't make you, bad.
No.
Bad that you're trying to achieve them.
Right.
If you're doing it at someone else's expense, that's when it gets a little corrupt.
Which is why, like, that's the game theory of it. Is like that's a bad approach because you won't get what you want in the long run.
It's not always a zero-sum game.
No, it's not.
We can mutually benefit.
We can.
Yes.
And that's the game of it. Because it's like, how do I help you the most while not hurting myself and not like, and like, how do I get what I want from you without taking too much and harming you?
Right.
So in the future, you can give me more stuff.
Right.
Exactly.
Simply put.
Yes. This is yield times. We all barter apples and cheese.
No.
And I cannot live without more cheese, so I must befriend the cheese seller.
Right.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Because, like, I don't know. There's this beautiful element of forgiveness.
Well, yeah.
That is, like, important. Because, like, let's say if you and I started generational beef right now.
Yes.
And then crazy fallout. And I'm like, wow, I never want to talk to Anna again. It's really sad. Bad things have happened. The game theory of it. It is in my best interest to forgive you.
Yes.
And, like, be kind to you again, to welcome you back in my life.
Because you can benefit later.
Yes, because you can keep offering me things. You can come back on my show.
You're not really going to gain anything from having me as your enemy.
Right. That's never beneficial. No. But also, like, there's the other element of it. If I'm like...
If you let me too close, I could harm you. I could fool you again.
Yes, you could. Yes, you could. You could use me to get on the show again.
Yeah.
And then I'd be like...
Use your platform for evil.
Yeah, and you're going to start...
Promoting gambling, lying, deceiving.
The next episode's going to be about, like, how to do bad things.
No, you need to get someone more wholesome on for the next one.
Yeah, we've gone in a deep, dark pit today.
Yeah.
Of despair and poor money management.
Yeah.
But we can use game theory to get out.
Oh, exactly. There's always a way out.
It's a
Just keep digging.
Yes, and then you come out on the other side.
Yeah, and you might hit those diamonds.
Yes.
You know what I'm talking
Oh,
about.
I know exactly what you're talking
Yeah.
about. 99%
The
of
meme,
gamblers. Yeah. It's a true fact. Look it up. So, is there a way, like you said sometimes at social functions you're like playing the game of it all,
Right.
to like increase your influence? Do you think, like, there's so many schools of thought and so many schools of philosophy. Is game theory, do you think it's particularly moral or ethical? Or
I think it's about what you're trying to, what your intention is. Because like when I say that, I'm not trying to like social climb and like
Right.
it's not like
Right.
crazy like that,
It's
but
like-
it's kind of like it's how I can handle socializing with a lot of people. Is I think
Mhm.
you know, it kind of makes it fun for me instead of it being
Yes.
at a party and I'm socially anxious. It's like, let me talk to this person because you never know where a connection could lead to. And you
Mhm.
really only have things to gain. It's the risk and reward. What's the
Mhm.
risk of putting yourself out there versus what do you have to lose, really?
Right.
So, you know, it's a motivation, I think, more so.
It is.
Yeah, it's you know.
Because it's like, as a society, we get so down on like using people for stuff. We're like, that's
Right.
not a good thing to do. But like,
But you're all pieces on my chessboard, so
right?
what
Why are
supposed
you
to
here
do?
if not for me to experience and like, hey, we all have our own unique talents. Let's use them
Yeah, let's collab.
together to uplift the world and
Mm-hmm.
society. Because like, it's also like, because people love feeling like they're independent and like, I make my own choices, but also like, if we're all playing the game, we're all gonna make the choices that help us win.
Right.
So like, that's another interesting element, and that makes me think about like determinism and like other weird
It gets
schools
deep.
of thought.
It gets deep.
Guys, game theory is so deep. We're going deeper
Yes.
down this evil dark pit.
But that's why I think it would be fun to do something like Big Brother, because it's kind of like, if you're given the chance to turn off your morals and you're playing a game. It's a game.
It
it's
is
not,
a game.
You're not.
Nobody's dying. Has anyone died on Big Brother?
No, but they've gotten people evicted because they've like gotten into fights, or like
Oh.
someone put like at season 2, someone put a knife to a girl's neck.
Oh, no.
Yeah, he got kicked out. But anyway.
Oh, my God.
That's some fun trivia of Big Brother. But I think it'd be so cool to do like, because it's giving permission. Like, we're playing a game, no hard feelings. I'm not
Mhm.
really trying to manipulate you in a real way that could harm you.
Right.
And people do get hurt on the show because it's, of course, you can't be like, it's just a game, it's just a game.
Mhm.
But you're kind of given the consent of, we're here for this
Let's
goal.
see what could happen.
Exactly. So all bets are kind of off. But in the real life, it's really, I'm just trying to be nice. I'm trying to, be I'm trying to,
Because
make stuff happen.
Because your strategy switches
Yes.
when you know it's a TV show.
Yeah,
Because you're
yeah.
like, oh, this is.
And you're performing.
Yes.
So you wanted to make it exciting and like betrayal and all
Mhm.
this.
The strategy of the game is like, oh, I'm on TV. I want to put on a show, and then I want to be well liked because that will get me $1 million.
Not even. You want the house guests to like you if you're trying to get the big prize, but there is America's Favorite House Guest where they vote for their favorite house guest. So
Oh.
maybe your strategy is, I want the smaller prize and just make America love me and go crazy in the house, and then I'll get that, and it doesn't really matter.
Interesting. Like all these games.
Yes, exactly.
Because like you switch your
you-
game up
you can
in
choose
real
what
life.
game you're playing.
Yeah, yeah. Because in real life, if you do all these things to people, you won't succeed.
No,
But on
no.
this TV show, you will.
Right.
Like the strategy
It's the meta,
changes.
the meta.
Right.
Because there's been so many. It's the same with Survivor. There's been so many seasons of these shows that people, there's the super fans that like know all the stuff and
The
all the
game of the
strategies
game,
and like what
yeah.
you should do, but usually the people that go in like that fail because they have such a fixed mindset of what they should do instead of
Mhm.
being adaptable and just having those baseline skills of sociability and like
Mm-hmm.
being able to be flexible
Right.
with what you're given.
I think that's like a big thing about reality TV that I find fascinating. And I think that's why we enjoy it so much, is because it allows us to see this like different, like, oh, what if we could?
Right.
And see what people would do in these scenarios, taking out like the real world stakes of like
Mhm.
genuine harm. But like sometimes it does happen. Because like I'm thinking about Beast Games and all the weird stuff that happened there, where people were like, they were trying to manage too many people and the conditions were horrible.
Yes,
And it's-
Mr. Beast. Yes,
Yes, Mr.
yes.
Beast, Mr. Beast's famous Beast Games,
Yes.
where he just tried to do Squid Game, which is a show. It's a reality,
Right, which
a
is
show
like-
about a reality show where like people just get murdered.
Right. I was
And he's
like,
like,
why are you trying to recreate that?
Let's do that. That'll be fun because it's profitable.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
people are
That's what
interested.
people want to see. They
People
want
love
to
the
see people
game.
get tortured.
People love the game.
Basically.
Yeah.
But okay, another shout out to I will even rank it above Big Brother.
Oh.
It's called The Devil's Plan, and it's a Korean reality TV show where it's similar. There's cameras everywhere. They're all in a house. They're playing for money and power. And they vote. Oh no, they have money. They have
Mhm.
money, and once they lose all their money, they're out of the game, eliminated. So they play all these games where they can get. There's a lot more interesting games that have more to do with logic and like politicking
Mm-hmm.
and that stuff. Big Brother, it's always like, watch this video and we'll ask you questions about what you saw, and if you get it right, then you win. So it's a lot more. Usually they have more like luck-based games. So the Devil's Plan is really awesome because they're like really intense games where you have to be very smart and earn it.
Mm.
And it was awesome show. Love it.
Do you think that like makes it more interesting that like these people are working harder, like this sort of like merit-based
there's-
aspect
well,
of winning the game?
Not even that. It's just they have to be more. They have to be on top of it socially even more because like in these games they're. I wish I could think of some examples of the games, but they're interacting with each other a lot more and working together, or it's like some, maybe like something kind of like Mafia where you're trying to figure out who these two people are, and so then if they're playing in this arena where they like cross each other in these like mini games and like do all this stuff, and that ends, and then they go back into the house part, and then they have to kind of deal with that like that fallout while still they gotta like keep people. I don't know. I'm running out of words. But I wish I could think of an example of a game. But they're just a lot more in depth than kind of the carnival type games.
Mm-hmm. Well, you brought up.
There's more strategy. There's way more strategy.
There's depth and strategy, and how the strategy interacts with the social interaction. What happens in the game happens in real life.
Yes.
What? It's like the
you die in the game.
You die in real life.
Yes.
Of course. Well, because what is the format of the Traitors? Because from what I understand, that is Mafia-esque.
Yeah.
So like, how does the social game work in that?
So there's a chosen amount of traitors who are the ones that can decide to murder one of the players each night. So then they're eliminated from the game. And then all the faithfuls, anyone who's not the traitor, each day they have a banishment where they try to figure out who's the traitor and vote them out. Mm-hmm. And so the strategy there, the traitors are trying to make all the faithfuls think
each other.
They're all yes, while the traitors are trying to get rid of all the people who are onto them, kind of. But in this most recent season, all the traitors turned on each other like immediately. So they're trying to get each other out because it's like, I don't know. At the end, it's like if there's a traitor left, the traitors get the money. If there's no traitors left, the faithfuls get to split the money. But, if you're greedy with it, you're going to try to vote everyone out as much as possible because then you get more money at the end.
Right.
So the traitors
It's
were
only
like,
who's remaining gets it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So this time it was crazy. They did not stick together. They were like exposing them at the table, but then they'd be like, later they'd be like, you only knew that because you're also a traitor. So it's like,
right.
You're stupid.
It doesn't work. It doesn't work.
So that's kind of an interesting one too. But yeah. Big Brother Forever. I ride.
Big Brother Forever.
Mm-hmm.
See, you're the metagame of it all. It's like, how do we win the game on top of the game? Because then you get. I feel like when you think about it too much, the reverse psychology, you can only end up like one of two places, and like I think that really sticks. That really speaks to your point of like, just go in and be adaptable.
Right, because most people. They drive themselves crazy because they're overthinking. They're like, what if this person's lying to me? Like this, you have to be very mentally secure to be able to do that sort of thing. Because I would go crazy because I'm like, all these like, who's lying to me? Who's telling the truth? Like, I think I would probably just freak out.
And then the game where we lie to each other all the time isn't fun anymore.
Yeah, no, it's not fun, guys.
It's not.
I thought this was going to be a really cool summer.
Yeah. Where I get watched 24/7.
Yeah, exactly.
I was going to be America's sweetheart. Does that person get money? Like America's favorite?
Yeah, they get, I think they get like $50,000 or something.
Oh, hell yeah.
Sweet little check.
Yeah, I'll take that.
After taxes, probably less, but you know.
I wonder how I do in these games sometimes, because I think...
Well, this is, I'm happy to talk to you about this, because if we were on Big Brother, you would be my ally.
I think so.
And you would be an ally I would be loyal to.
Until we're the last two, and then we have to...
Right, until we could no longer. Not even the last two, because if we're at 3 and I think you're going to win against me, I got to cut you. So the jury votes for me.
I understand.
And that's just the game.
That's just the game. So it'll be us two and somebody who's really lame.
Exactly. And that's the strategy, because you're trying to bring someone along who people won't vote for. So you got to think real long term about it. And that's where you really got to be with it.
That's the, if you're doing this. You
got to try to predict what people are going to do.
You're doing one vote is different from doing 20 votes. Like, you need to think about...
Yeah, 1 and 20 are different.
That's true. And that's numbers, people. That's facts and numbers. Take anything away from this. Numbers are different than each other. Mm-hmm. And that's how numbers work.
Yes, love them.
But, like, think about the ramifications of how vote 1 will affect vote number 5.
Right, exactly.
Like, it is in your best interest to keep somebody worse than you always.
Yeah, exactly.
So you're not.
But also, you don't want to get out all the main threats, because then you become the biggest threat. And then people start looking at you. So you kind of want a shield of sorts that's kind of like the big shiny person that everyone's like, we got to get them out. So then people aren't diverting their eyes to you. So if you get everyone out that's your competition, people are like, you're the new biggest threat. We got to get you out.
Has anyone ever had success on that show just trying to be like really small and unnoticeable?
Yes, some people they don't do anything the whole game. They're furniture is what we call them. They're
awesome.
Furniture the whole summer, just like chilling about. And they try to get dragged to the end to be that person, but then sometimes, it's a fluke, and
interesting.
They might win because people hate the other person so much because if they played a bad jury management game where they screw everyone over, and the people out there are like, I don't care that you played a better game. I'm voting for the person who was nice to me. So that's where you gotta really wager your bets, I guess.
Can you make cookies in the house?
Like,
could I make cookies for people?
Cooking strategy. Like, I'm going to cook for everyone. I'm going to clean. People want to keep me around because I'm, a friendly, nice person. I make you meals. Like, you love me. Why would you vote me out? And that can be your strategy.
But, this is what always gets me is I'm like, it'll always come down to that moment where it's like, no matter how nice you were to me, you're between me and that money. And, I'd have to let you go. Mm-hmm. And that makes...
But that's the thing. You think that, but then... You go in there and make real friendships, real relationships. Like, would you really have it in you to betray someone who you feel like you've genuinely bonded with?
I don't know, because my strategy would just to be so obscenely nice that when we get to that point, somebody would be like, I can't do that to you.
Right, but you're like, but I could do it to you.
Yeah, exactly. And then I pull out the rug from under them and I say, this is why you never trust and you never love, because you will always be betrayed.
I'm sure a lot of people have trauma from that show that have been on it. I mean, not even to mention that you're watched 24/7 and people online are mean.
Right.
But also if you really, really trust someone and they do you wrong, it's probably hard to come back from, honestly.
It's true. I've been hurt
But
before.
you just got to be like, the money.
$1 million can fix anything.
No.
You pay for some therapy.
Yeah, definitely therapy.
You can really talk about it.
You can't buy back love and affection.
That's true. That person.
You can try, but
But the game theory, it's in their best interest to forgive you.
Right, because you're gonna get that money.
Sit them down and listen to this episode with them.
Yeah.
Play this for whoever is your current enemy right now, and I say to you, enemy, find it in your heart to forgive. It'll be better for everyone.
But then you got to say, this is what I have to offer.
Yeah. Also, you need to be willing to offer something, because then it's not worth it.
Right.
If you have nothing to offer, then
why would I waste my time?
Exactly.
Forgiving you.
Exactly. That's bad game
my
theory.
Resources.
Yeah, your resources.
My precious time.
My sheep and iron.
Like Minecraft.
Oh, yeah, that too.
Resources.
Yeah, resources.
I don't know where you're at.
I'm in 12 different places always. That's my game. That's how I win. Invest.
Yeah.
Diversify your investment portfolio.
Just throw everything.
That's what I do. Yeah.
But yeah, that's why I enjoy the show, because I'm like, wow, Peyton can really talk to anyone, and he can keep the conversation, and he can engage in a meaningful way and make people feel comfortable, and that's really half the battle.
I pretty famously have very minimal enemies,
That's good, as far as you know.
as far as I know.
People might secretly resent you for being so nice.
Isn't that? And that's the
They
rub.
might come back and bite you.
Exactly. You can never win, but also you can always
Yeah,
win.
You can't always please everyone, but optimally, you could try to maximize your results.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
that's what every day I'm out here trying to optimize my results. And we're rounding the final
Okay.
corner
Mm-hmm.
in today's episode. Are there any big closing thoughts that you want to leave the people at home with?
I don't know. I feel like we hit a lot of marks that. Oh my! There's a spider up there.
Oh, I see the
it's
spider.
pretty
Guys,
cute.
there's a spider in the studio, and neither of us are scared.
No,
At
not... No, my heart's not beating super fast right now.
Yeah, we're okay. This is good and normal.
No,
This is
it's
the
a-
first.
it's
This
Bob's Burger CD will protect us.
Bob's
Our
Burgers,
good
the
omen.
music album.
Yep.
On CD will save us over 100 tracks.
Yeah,
Not sponsored. We have not been sponsored by anyone. We just like stuff. I lost the spider. I don't know where it went.
I see it. It's just on the ledge.
Okay. that's
Anyway,
good.
no one can see
Anyways.
the spider. Just
Oh wait,
us.
I see it. Yeah, wait. There it goes into the
Yep,
shadows.
yep.
Bye, spider.
Last thoughts. I feel like, I don't know, my hopes and dreams for the future. I want to become a crazy card counter.
Yes.
Take the casinos for all they got. It'd be cool if I was on Big Brother. That would be epic. I won
That'd be
Big
awesome.
Brother.
I'd support. I'd want to go with you.
Cool.
Like
Yes.
after this, yeah.
Well,
I think
sometimes they have a secret duos twist, so you go in
Oh,
as
like,
pairs,
these
and we have to
people
act like
knew.
we don't know each other. And I feel like we could do it pretty well.
Yeah, we could.
Yeah,
we
because I
could.
mean, like we're not. It's not like we're like.
Because we could work
like
opposite
this
sides of the
anyway.
field.
Yeah, exactly,
Like,
exactly.
And
we
we-
each
you
have
got
our,
someone
we
on
have
the
all our
inside.
minions, and then we
Mhm.
collab.
Yeah.
Oh, it'd
We
be
send them
awesome.
at each other. Like we're
But
perfect. Let's do it.
Well, what I want to do, I want to throw a Big Brother party where it's like an escape room mini, like accelerated game of Big Brother where we all play these games and win, have to vote people out, and then the last person gets like a prize. And that would be really fun because I want to watch all of you fight and scrap for your life. And
That'd be interesting.
But then I'm like, would there be real social fallout of like, why'd you vote me out? That hurt my feelings. I thought you were my friend.
I don't think so. And if there's guys, it's just a game.
Like
guys.
it's just a game.
That's not real. In situations like that, I'll either like get out first round because I'm trying to be too stupid with it, and I'm like, or I'll be like in it. And like for this, I want to be because I think I could do it.
Too.
I think I could do
That's
it.
what I'm saying. I feel like you're kind of on my list of people where I would want to see you perform.
Yeah.
But I wish it just already existed where I could go and pay to have this experience, and it'd be cool if it was with actual strangers because that would be a real true to life Big Brother experience. Because then you don't know who these people are. You got nothing on them. Going into this sort of situation, we would all have relationships prior, so we kind of have already.
Right. I think that would.
We would
that
already
would
kind
screw
of
me
have
over.
our alliances
Yeah.
a little bit, so it would really depend on the group how much you could.
Because then everybody would know I'm fake nice and I'm just doing it for the game, and then that would really sink me.
Because I would be like, Peyton would be good at Big Brother, and you already got that stain on you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. They know I can pull a rug.
like no
One's business. Yeah. Well, Anna, thank you so much for being here.
I had so much fun.
This was great. I think we won.
I
Like
think
this
we
was
won
the most
game.
optimal outcome.
Yes.
Yeah. Anything you want to plug in your life?
Oh no.
Gambling again?
No.
Not sponsored by Big Gambling,
I
but
don't know. I've been Anna Lucas.
You have.
know, see me on the street, say hello.
yeah, that's true. Anna does walk around sometimes.
Yeah. And you know I'm trying to use you for all you got. So
Mhm,
let's
yeah.
hook up.
Anna has a lot to offer. A lot. So let her know. Guys, thank you so much for listening. As of date of recording, happy International Women's Day.
Yes.
Big day.
Women.
Tell all the women in your life that you love them. And we'll see you next week.
Yeah. Shout
I
out.
think so. Shout out. Shout out Passion Project. Shout out women. Shout out a great weekend. We'll see you all on the flip side. Bye-bye.
Bye guys.
We killed it.
Did it.
We killed.
We did
We killed.
it. Awesome.
Heck yeah.